Hello everyone, so good to see you again after 5, almost 6 days, guys. My name is Paul, this is my studio, Warsaw, Poland, my humble YouTube channel. Today we're gonna talk about metering, audio metering, which is kind of a mysterious world sometimes, especially for those of you who just entered the audio world. Might seem kind of scary. A lot of questions, no answers. What is metering and why do I actually need this? And today, in a very brief, comprehensive way, I'm gonna try to tell you actually what metering is and why you really need this and why you should equip yourself with some serious metering tools before attempting at any pro releases of your music or any other digital media content, actually. That's it. Let's go. Of course, if you think this channel is a cool place, if you like my studio, my videos, as always, consider subscribing somewhere here down in the corner, getting notified, liking this vid, commenting on it down below so that I know what you think about this sort of tutorial and what are your favorite metering plugins. Let's go now. Plus, one more thing. If you both like the plugins presented and would like to support me, you're gonna find some affiliate links down below. Thanks. Okay, my very dear friends, and maybe we should start talking about metering from asking this very basic question. What actually is metering in the audio world, right? And metering is a technical procedure, a technical process of measuring different aspects of your signal, like loudness, not only loudness, but mainly loudness, I would say, like momentary loudness or long-term loudness over time, peak loudness, average loudness. Then you can measure phase correlation of your signal. You can measure the spectrum of your signal over time. You can measure some other aspects of it, and it serves what purposes? Because what is metering is one question, but the second one, why do I need this? What's the purpose? And the purpose is very simple. Actually, all contemporary media, whether these are traditional media like TV, broadcast, or streaming media like Tidal, YouTube, whatsoever, they all have loudness, mainly loudness standards. So loudness metering is the bread and butter for contemporary producers. You don't always, and not only can meter loudness, but loudness is the main thing to meter. Because if you do something too loud and you send it to the TV, to the national broadcast, whenever, wherever this is all over the world, they can deny it. They can get back to you and tell you, yo, this is too loud. You have to turn it down, actually, and send it back to us because it's not going to get aired when it's too loud. Yes, loudness standards are actually maximum loudness levels allowed on a specific platform, whether it's a traditional broadcast or streaming service. And this is why you need metering, because if you do something too loud, it can get denied. And also, if it's too loud and you put it anywhere like YouTube, Spotify and stuff, the streaming service is actually gonna make it more quiet for you automatically, which is kind of okay-ish. I do believe it's way better to control your loudness and program your loudness fully by hand, aiming at a specific target, having full dynamic control over my material from the start to the end. No coincidences, no weird behaviors from streaming services out of my control. But also, why metering is important, loudness metering especially, is that you don't want to get your material too quiet as well. Like you did your track, you master it, peaks at -1 dBTP, but you can see that LUFS meter, we're going to talk about LUFS soon, is still at -18. So it's too quiet. That's also why metering is cool. It's going to point out any potential issues in your material as a visual feedback. of some kind. Of course, use your ears, or better, train your ears, but visual feedback sometimes really is a vital part of audio work, my friends. That's just the beginning, maybe just the starting point. And now a bit, I promise, a bit about loudness standards and loudness measurements. So as I said, every broadcaster, every streaming service, they all have their own loudness standards. And most of them, like 99% of everything I know, is based on the very same measurement method that has been developed by International Telecommunication Union from Switzerland. It's an international organization of media industry, and they created something called ITUR BS.1770 measurement standard, and they introduced LUFS or LKFS units in that very standard. LUFS and LKFS are actually the same loudness unit. LKFS is the name used more in the US and here in Europe, and I think most of the world uses LUFS, but this is the same unit. It's K. It uses K-weighted curve. We're not gonna talk about measurement curves today too much. I want to make it really simple, but just letting you know, LUFS, LKFS are the same thing. So yeah, ITU from Switzerland introduced LUFS, LKFS in their ITU measurement method, and this method became a basis for loudness standards, so target loudness. And when talking about target loudness, you should know that it's for integrated loudness. So that means that any given LUFS, LKFS readout is the readout for the whole material you have, the average loudness of your material from the first to the very last second. And the most common standards are ATSC A85. It's an Advanced Television Systems Committee from the US. It's an American standard based on ITU measurements aiming at -23 LKFS. And then we have EBU-R 128, European Broadcast Union, same based on ITU, -23 LUFS. So it's basically the same loudness standard here in Europe. We're gonna have OP59 in Australia, which is -24 LUFS, also based on ITU, of course. Then we're gonna have ARIB in Japan, -24, AGCOM in Italy, -24. Also, what is cool is Sony ASWG001, which is a loudness standard for games, for both PC console games, like home entertainment and mobile entertainment. And what you do is that you play the game, measure the audio throughout the game, every possible aspect of the game is being played, and then you should get, the recommendation is that maximum loudness for your game should be -24 LKFS, LUFS, and for mobile games, it's given at -18 LUFS. Yeah, and these are traditional broadcast media, but you also gonna have a lot of streaming services, and each of them is gonna have their own loudness standard. YouTube, Spotify, and Tidal, they all have -14. Deezer has got -15. Apple, -16, while Netflix has got -27 LUFS for their moving picture content, and I'm gonna tell you why it's like this very, very soon. It's different for Netflix, and also LUFS is most of the metering and audio standards, but also TASA, Trailer Audio Standards Association in America, introduced LEQM units, M-weighted, not K-weighted units, because the audience was complaining that some of the ads and trailers screened in cinemas were too loud. So right now, for cinema content like trailers and ads, not movies themselves, you're gonna have maximum 85 LEQM for trailers and 82 LEQM for commercials, for ads in cinemas. We use it, it's widespread in Europe. We also use this loudness standards here in our European theaters. guys, and I'm gonna also talk a bit about LEQM, and this is like the very basis of what metering is, how it works, and what are the metering standards and measurement and loudness standards are. And now, my friends, my favorite metering plugins. Yes, Decibel, and you know what? It's a new one, and I'm kind of in love with this because it's a plugin, it's a single plugin, but it's like actually it's a customizable metering suite with different modules you can apply. And I got it because one of my other plugins started behaving erratic. I'm gonna tell you which one very, very soon, but it made me go for something else, and it was Decibel. And here I can get LUFS histograms, so my LUFS readouts over time. And I can also apply these LUFS meters of this kind. Then I can go for super meter, which is something else. It looks like this. Then I can go for spectrum analyzer, of course. It stops actually being contained in all. I'm gonna make it a bit smaller maybe. Yeah, then VU, classic looking analog like meter. Digital meter, I use digital peak meters all the time. And then what's cool is stereo cloud. It's gonna tell you about the wideness, the stereo image of your signal. And I'm gonna show it to you on an example of this noise, left-right channel, pink noise, identical, so it's simply mono. But when I make it stereo, also it shows all this beautiful stereo here. And of course, I keep my bass when I do music below 100, rather mono and stuff. It's cool to have it. Also, more classic phase measurement is phase scope. It's gonna look like this. And I will show you how it works also maybe on the example of this noise. So again, I'm gonna have this mono pink noise, and this top-down line means that my signal is fully in mono. It's identical for left and right channel. But when I flip the phase of this signal on, let's say, right channel, I'm gonna get this. It sounds like weird stereo. It's mono, but the second channel has got the phase flipped. And you can see now that I am completely out of phase. My correlation drops to 0. Let's get back to mono and let's make this noise stereo. And now, yeah, it shows me that my signal is randomly in phase or out of phase, which is typical for any noise. And it's also represented on this phase meter. So yeah, actually almost every possible aspect of metering is present here. I can also display my LUFS separately. I can do target validators, so I can program any LUFS I'm aiming at, and I'm gonna see whether I comply with it, and so on. And it's really fully customizable, working very smooth, acting very nice, very pleasant visually. And yes, it's right now it's been here in the studio for a month, and it's already my main meter. As for pricing, it's $149. What's also cool, it can measure surround signals, not only stereo, but surround, up to 7.1.4 Dolby Atmos, which is cool when you do cinema or some advanced multimedia, like I hope I do advanced multimedia. Metering something more than stereo, any surround system. This is really cool, and also Decibel offers it. And no, it's not sponsored. I didn't get an NFR. I bought this plugin at full price, and I can easily recommend it to you. Let's go to the next one. And the next one is actually probably one of the most popular plugins ever, not only metering plugins. It's Yulin Loudness Meter. It's great, and it comes with a lot of goodies, and it's free, completely free form. It can measure up to 5.1 surround. While still being free, it offers a lot of measuring standards, a bit less customization, I think. But it's crazy good. So if you need to check your LUFS and your compliance with any given loudness standard, Loudness Meter by Ulin takes you there. I got a Pro version, which costs $49, I think, and it offers surround up to 7.1.4. It offers a bit more customization. It also offers literally every standard broadcast media or streaming services. Everything is here. So yeah, this is absolutely amazing. It's not customizable, it's just loudness metering. I also don't really like the way that peak meters are displayed here, so it's not my favorite one, but I can easily recommend Ulin to most of you. It's free, you can pay for it to go pro, not for so much, $49, and it's absolutely stellar. Another one, it's my second main. Decibel became my main, and this one is also my main. It's called Supervision, and it comes with Cubase Pro, I think, and Nuendo, the DAW of my choice. As you can see, I got a screen. I can split my screen into different sections. I'm gonna show it to you again, like this, for example, and like this. And I can choose what I want to display in every area here. Like here, let's do measurement, and let's see the LUFS loudness. And here, let's go for phase scope. Here, oscilloscope. Here I can leave my stereo meters, and here maybe other time bits, waveform, wave circles, spatial domain, phase, correlation, spectrum curve. I'm wondering how it looks like actually. Looks normal. Yeah, it's cool. It's very customizable. It's got this very basic, very humble look, typical for Cubase Nuendo onboard plugins. Not the most attractive visually, but it's comprehensive. It's clear out there. It's very customizable. It works in every possible surround system as well. And not only that, it can do LEQM units. And these are important when you do any trailer or ad for cinema. You have to measure LEQM, because again, if you do something too loud, they're gonna turn it down, they're gonna deny it, get back to you. And you also don't want to get too quiet as well. So measuring LEQM is my bread and butter, so it's good to have it here in this plugin, my friends. And I don't have to pay for it extra. And here comes Insight by Izotope, another great one, highly customizable sound field, history, intelligibility. This is called intelligibility, is an AI-driven algorithm to check whether your dialogue can be heard in context of every other element of your, let's say, movie, because this is like a filmmaker tool mainly. I don't use it, I can do it by ear, but it's cool to have it. Also, I forgot, Supervision also has got intelligibility module. Spectrum and spectrogram can be displayed. Let's run it all at once. Yeah, cool. And it was the one I used most before I got Decibel. Why I stopped using it? Because on one particular project, it stopped misleading me by 1.9 LUFS. Yes, it started giving me erratic readouts and wrong readouts. Fortunately, I managed to hear that something's a bit too quiet, and I did measurements with other plugins, and I discovered something wrong happened. But it's weird because it happens only in one particular project. Every other project is being measured properly. I have no idea what this is, whether this is the plugin's fault, some other component fault, but it stopped being so reliable for me. So I actually decided to go for Decibel. Insight, still, nothing wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. I got a single problem but really it is reliable otherwise. And it costs $199. It can do every possible surround setup as well, which is cool. Let's go to the next one. And here's the one I'm not going to recommend. It's a negative recommendation. It's wave loudness meter. It can be stereo, it can be surround, 5.1, no Dolby Atmos, nothing. It's not customizable. It looks kind of already almost vintage. It can do a lot of presets, loudness presets. Yeah, everything like in Ulin is possible to be measured. Also, LEQM is possible, but users all over the world indicate that this LEQM, depending on the material, can vary plus minus one LEQM unit, which is more of a guesswork of Waves engineers than the real LEQM TASA algorithm, I suppose. And when I learned that, I stopped completely using it because I don't want to get too loud or too quiet. So I'm going simply for Supervision onboard plugin with my new Windows. So yeah, kind of a negative recommendation. It costs $34, but I think every Waves costs $29 or $35. Let's go to the next one. True Level by Sonible, my friends. It can do surround up to 5.1. It can simply measure your LUFS also according to different standards. So it's very much like Ulin. You can go Ulin or you can go this one. It displays things in kind of a nice, a bit different manner. Yeah, so it's gonna show you your dynamic range and your loudness on this 2D display. And the visual feedback coming from it, like with most or all Sonible plugins, is great. So I don't actually need it. I got an NFR from the guys at Sonible because we like each other, let's say. They do cool stuff and I review it on my channel. I don't use it, but there's nothing wrong with it. If Ulin is for any reason not your stuff, True Level should be your pick, and it costs $69, which is also not much for what it offers. Next one. Yeah, and it's kind of I wouldn't say it's a negative recommendation, because this is a stellar, beautifully looking, greatly executed, well-behaving plugin, showing you meters, spectrogram, histogram, phase correlation, stats, and more. But you know what? It doesn't include any real loudness, LUFS, or any other LEQM, you name it, standard. It's going to show you some dBFS values mainly, and that's it. It's not a loudness standardization tool. It's cool. It costs, I think, $199 right now, yes. But if you really want to see the output, the target level, no way. You can do it with another Nugen audio plugin, which is Viz LM, but my friends, take a look at the price. I mean, Nugen is kind of crazy about it. Yes, it does surround up to 7.1.4 Dolby Atmos. It offers LEQM measurements and every possible LUFS, LKFS measurement. But charging this, I mean, come on, I'm gonna go for Decibel and my onboard supervision. If I don't own Cubase or Nuendo and I don't have supervision, I would go for $149 for Decibel, and even this Waves loudness meter, TASA LEQM erratic meter for $35. but charging this seems kind of too crazy, my dear Nugen. So, do I recommend it? Not really. What are the other plugins? Because I actually don't know. Not really much, I'm afraid. So, okay, so they can give this price. So, if there's anything else credible, let me know, guys, because I can't see anything. And now, honorable mentions. The plugins I've never used, but I know they are there, and they are surely worth some of your attention. SSL Meter Pro. Yeah, not customizable, but this panel seems having everything you need. Histogram, spectrogram, view meters, channel meters, loudness readouts. It's cool because it works in every surround system. It surely can do every possible LUFS according to any standard. And maybe it does also LEQM, TASA. Yeah, guys, you can do TASA metering LEQM with this. So yeah, let's add this one up if you don't feel like buying this super expensive VisLM. SSL Meter Pro is going to take you there for $199. There's also no pro version of this plugin, I think. It's stereo, but it doesn't give you any real loudness standards readouts. It's going to give you dBFS, dBTP, but no LUFS. So is it really usable? Doesn't really seem like. I mean, it's cool. Would I go for it? No. I would go definitely for a free version of Ulean instead of this. Next one. Well, is it a honorable mention? I got some doubts here as well. $30 instead of $95 developed by Brainworks, branded by SPL, called Hawkeye. Looks like the thing from the past, definitely mid or late 90s of the previous century. Look, it's kind of ugly and clunky, and it can do quite a lot. Spectrogram, phase correlation, DC offset, wow, channel meters, some loudness readouts. But you know what? I'm not even sure whether it can do LUFS. Level meter and to ensure you leave no headroom, avoid distortion when your music is uploaded to Spotify, blah, blah, blah. Target specific loudness. So I think it does have LUFS. It works only in stereo, I think. Looks so-so. Would I go for it? Okay, I'm gonna have phase correlation meters, spectrogram, some stuff. Probably every DAW has it for free somewhere. So I still would go for a free version of Ulean instead of this, but it's cool to mention it, that it's there, right? And the last one I want to talk about is actually something a bit different because it's a hardware unit. Yes, this is it. It's called Clarity Amp, costs $249 right now. It can do stereo and 5.1 surround, nothing more, I'm sorry. And it's loudness meter with peak meters for your channels, some readouts here, this beautiful loudness circle here, phase correlation here, and more. But you know what? I do believe it's somehow the thing of the past, largely, because only 5.1 surround, you can meter everything just using your software or on any extra screen in your studio tablet even. So probably not too popular right now, but this is a honorable mention. You're gonna find these in a lot of pro studios all over the world until very today, so I could not skip this. And I think that's it, and I'm ready to sum the things up for you. Yeah, my friends, that's it. Still probably is gonna be painfully long, like 25 minutes. I'm gonna try to do it as short as possible for you. And guys, I hope somehow I made it clear, I made it easier for you, I made it less scary for those of you who are complete beginners, with all the loudness measuring methods, standards, and why they are important, because they are important, and you should take control over your material in terms of measuring and metering it. That's it, guys. Tell me what you think down below in the comment section. Tell me what your favorite metering plugins, and I'm gonna be back to you very, very soon. Take care. Bye.